Will the future Saga ruin the global Dokkan campaign? A lot of people seem to feel this way, but today we're gonna go ahead and try to figure this out. We'll go ahead and see what the community has to say about it, because there are a lot of different opinions on this whole situation. I, of course, will share my own thoughts on what is going on here with the future Saga and everything, but also today we'll go ahead and talk about what are some of the possible opportunities that can arise if future Saga is indeed a major focal point of the celebration. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the video. If you do, show your support. Comment down below your thoughts, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the vid and everything. But also when it comes to commenting down below, let us know, what do you think about future Saga being a major factor in the global Dokkan campaign? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Let us know in the comments down below. What do you hope to see based off that information? But with that all being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing we have to explain here is how did we get to this point? Because if you guys are like me, this completely came out of nowhere. So about a week or like a week and a half ago now, I actually made a vid talking about it. We got our first trailer for the global Dokkan campaign, which is really down here. There we go. So this was the first trailer for the global Dokkan campaign. It was pretty straightforward. You got to see like the orchestra and everything. It was pretty bog standard until the end. The end kind of featured a bit of an Easter egg, which was very exciting for a lot of people. So I'll play it again right here real quick. So right there you can hear what is basically a bit of a heartbeat. Now, if we think of the general kind of implication of that in Dragon Ball, the heartbeat, you typically hear that when you see Goku or Gohan or Vegeta go into the Great Ape transformation. From there, people are kind of expanding upon that. The heartbeat means the Great Ape, which means Super Saiyan 4, and because of the timing and everything, it means Daima. And in fact, I was expecting it to be the same thing. I was expecting Daima based off this trailer right here as just a main kind of aspect of the whole celebration. Obviously, besides that, we got other information about some announcement vids and everything, which also, by the way, tomorrow we are going to be getting our announcement vid, which will obviously tell us what the theme is going to be officially, probably. But still, this was the first kind of information for us, and everyone was going crazy on this information. People are coming with concept ideas, different theories on what we should see for the Easy A's and stuff, and different characters and everything. Everything was focused on Daima. Then we got all of a sudden our second, trailer, our second teaser, if you will, right here 5 days later, basically on the 27th of June. And this was like the first thing. It's like a still shot right here. Basically, I'm not good with colors here, but you got like a sky blue, cyan-ish blue kind of like aura right here. And then we've got a pink rose looking kind of aura right here, kind of next to each other, intertwined back and forth. This was like the first like big red alarm blaring in everyone's head saying, wait a minute. The global Dokkan campaign may not be only what we thought it was going to be. There may be more to this than meets the eye. And obviously, if we think about this kind of blue color, it is similar for a lot of people to Super Saiyan Blue. And of course, if you think about pink, rose, a bit of an accent on it, rose perhaps. Like this was like the implication that maybe we could see Goku Black. And if Goku Black is going to be here, most likely we're going to see something related to something Super Saiyan Blue, like, oh, I don't know, Vegito Blue perhaps. Like this was when people were starting to be like, wait a minute, is this a sign that we're going to be getting future Saga as part of the global Dokkan campaign? And obviously, we had some like special kind of like 7 days until and all this sort of stuff, like countdown and everything. Obviously, the intern who was working on this is definitely going through it, I'm sure, because this was a pretty awkward typo. It's not the biggest mistake in the world, to be fair, but it is a mistake nonetheless, and I'm sure the person felt bad, but like it was pretty funny to see it happen, but it is what it is. Anyways, we had that, and then we have, all the other announcement video and everything, getting ready for that and everything. This was then the trailer, which included that still shot that we saw right here. So I won't play too much of it because I'm pretty sure the music that's playing is not something I can actually play without getting copywritten, so I'm not going to play it too much, but I will go to the final part right here. So they kind of like did the violin work. They again that aura, the two flying side by side, the same, still the same still shot, and then obviously going through. So is their typical kind of trailer work, just showing some sort of teaser. Once we go into the end, they do stop the music right here. So I think, yeah, we're safe to go here. Then they showed this. So they showed again the date for the campaign, which, man, this is in terrible quality right here. It's at 1080, but it's not showing. You got the blue and the pink right there. And then you got this, this last a time is upon us kind of quote here. Now, for a lot of people, this reminded them of Zamasu with the quote and everything, because we all know Zamasu, he's a yapper. Like, I think I yap. No, Zamasu has me beat. Like, Zamasu could be a podcaster or a YouTuber the way he talks, but I mean, this was like a quote, with this and the pink and the like Super Saiyan Blue and everything was going crazy for future Saga. Like, people were just like, wait a minute, is this in fact the theme that we're going to be seeing? Because not just, did we see what we got, like what we got here, but also there was no mention of Daima in this specific trailer. So people, for some reason, kind of went away from the first trailer to focus on this one. Now, I will say right now, before we go any further, I think there is a probably very good chance that Daima and Future Saga are going to be both intertwined in the Global Dokkan campaign. How exactly is that going to happen? Who knows? But it just feels like that first trailer with the heartbeat had some sort of significance. I feel like with the heartbeat, that's really important right there. This obviously is indicating some sort of like back and forth between Rose and everything. So that's kind of obvious. But I mean, look at the comments right here for this one right here. You got people like, where's Daima? Other people are excited. I think I voted where's Daima, but all these like Vegito Blue kind of notifications, people just making fun of Daima fans for getting screwed, skipping it because there's no Daima, all sorts of things were going crazy. And it's really, I think this was like the start of what has basically become a snowball effect or a cascading effect of just fans just like appalled and in like disarray in terms of what is going to happen with the Global Dokkan campaign if the Future Saga is going to be a major aspect of it, if it's not in fact the main theme of it. So this was really crazy right here. Obviously, if we do search like the Global Dokkan campaign right here, and it would just like go through all this sort of stuff, you got people coming up with different concept ideas right here. We see Vegito Blue, of course, Zamasu, which is kind of based off of what we saw with that trailer. Of course, you got GT, you got Diamond and everything. You got people just like, you know, laughing at the Future Saga kind of focus and everything because they wanted like Diamond stuff, all sorts of things. People are actually, some people I will say are excited for the Global Dokkan campaign to feature Future Saga, which is really awesome right there to see some people excited for this. But also you got other people right here just saying, you know, screw Omatsu. Like this is just like a lot of unhappiness from Joku right there. But you know, talking about you make the GDC future when no one wanted it and wanted to be Daima. Let's just, you know, let me kind of piggyback on this. For those who don't remember, and this is actually, this is a great point right here. Actually, I'm glad Nano had this post pop up right here. Shout out to Nano, of course, awesome dude, fantastic content creator. I love his work. But he was saying, you know, the actual Global Dokkan characters are going to be all Daima, so that's going to be the Global Dokkan campaign, but people were expecting Frieza Saga and Resurrection of F. Those were the two main theories that everyone pretty much had going into the Global Dokkan campaign. You had some wonky ideas from there like Saiyan Saga and stuff, but those were less popular compared to these two. And then out of nowhere, Future Saga comes into play and says, hey, don't forget about us. You know, we got a lot of things on the plate that we could go ahead and include on this whole celebration. So, you know, people are now kind of like switching up their focus. They're like thinking of different ideas. Of course, some people are not really happy with Future Saga once again being a major focal point. Some people are thinking instead it should, like, this was before the trailers, but obviously Saiyan Saga and like Vegeta and Goku, like in general, there's a lot of different takes that people had in terms of Future Saga being a focal point. But I mean, again, you know, some people are happy about it. So I am glad to see that some people are enjoying the idea of Future Saga being a part of the Global Dokkan campaign. But, you know, it is interesting to see how things have been kind of progressing since like this whole situation. Actually, I will say right here. So this was after the trailer came for the second trailer for Vegito Blue and everything. This was what Truth had to say, which is that his concern level for this is 0. So he's gonna like focus on enjoying the celebration, which I think is the right approach, and everyone should be, you know, absolutely focusing on the same thing here. We should enjoy the celebration. There is, like Truth said, there's a lot of time for Dokkan to screw things up, and from that point on, we should have a bit more negativity in the sense of being critical of what's going on. But until that time, we need to approach the Global Dokkan campaign with, I feel like, some sort of baseline positivity, if not higher. And I feel like a lot of people through burnouts or just feeling negative about the year or just not trusting Dokkan lately, something I feel like is happening where a lot of people just don't have the confidence in the Global Dokkan campaign to be good, especially if Future Saga of all things is going to happen, which is kind of funny to me. I want to go ahead, Truth posts a lot of stuff, so I'm not sure if I can actually find this, but let me see if I can like search this, because there is a specific thing that Truth mentioned here regarding like Global Dokkan campaign, and it was a while ago. Here we go. So this was the post I was looking for, and this is what made me kind of laugh when I was thinking about all the people upset about Future Saga. Is he was saying at the time, this was during like part 2 reveals for the Legends anniversary and stuff, you know, so people were focused on Saiyan Saga, but he was saying for the Global Dokkan campaign, as long as we don't get anything before Namek Goku, it's fine. But casuals, or just he meant in general, the general player base for like Dokkan and Dragon Ball, they're going to be more interested in Super Saiyan characters with transformations, fusions, those sorts of things, which is a pretty valid assessment when it comes to how Dokkan is going to be able to make a lot of money. It's through fusions, it's through Super Saiyans. But considering the amount of backlash that is being given for the Future Saga, which has Super Saiyans, which has transformations up the yin yang, which has Rose Goku Black, which is one of the more popular villains for a lot of people, you have Vegito Blue, you have you have Super Saiyan Raid Trunks, which I don't like Raid Trunks too much as a form, but some people do. But you have those things, you have fusions, Zamasu, Patara fusions, all these things. people, so given how many people are upset about it, I was just laughing my ass off, considering this was a take that a lot of people agree with, which is that we don't want to see Saiyan Saga or anything for the Global Dokkan campaign. But hey, now we got something after Namek that has a bunch of transformations. So, you know, it's just kind of funny for me to see like how many people were upset about Future Saga. Given this, it was interesting to me to see how many people were not happy about Future Saga. But okay, so that was a lot of the like different concerns, was just, you know, many people, again, there is this really significant back and forth about if, you know, Future Saga is a good idea for the Global Dokkan campaign. We got some people hyped for it and everything, hoping to see all sorts of different characters: Vegito Blue, Rose, Zamasu, Raid Trunks. You know, you got some mix and match right here with Daima Goku, God Goku, Namek Goku, different kinds of ideas. But for me, what I will say is this: I am not the biggest Future Saga fan. However, I am not against Future Saga being a part of the Global Dokkan campaign. And when it comes to how they should approach making the Global Dokkan campaign work, I will say right here, for me, I was of the opinion, and I hope they make this the case, I was of the opinion that they are going to make the Global Dokkan campaign banners and the whole format pretty much the exact same as the 10th anniversary, where if I can go ahead and find said 10th anniversary, here we go. If you remember with the 10th anniversary, we had 6 LRs, right? 3 in part 1, 3 in part 2, 1 Dokkan Fest in part 1, 1 Dokkan Fest in part 2, and 4 total Carnival LRs split evenly between part 1 and part 2. For me, I hope we get the same format this time around. I know some people were saying we hope to get 4 because, you know, we prefer quality over quantity. The way I look at it is that when you think about the overall quality of characters in Dokkan so far this year, I think we can still make 6 work. I think the animation quality is still going to be fantastic. I think the kit quality, really that just is down to, you know, the development team doing it right. But I think 6 LRs will work. And the reason why I want 6 LRs is, especially in this particular instance, the Global Dokkan campaign is supposed to be on an anniversary scale. Now, maybe the 10th anniversary is a fluke in terms of how special it was done compared to future anniversaries, but, you know, if the 10th anniversary is what we're expecting going forward, then that means 6 LRs. Why shouldn't the GDC have the 6 LRs as well? That's my kind of thinking on it. Also, beyond that, the thing about 6 LRs is it does open the opportunity for broader themes, for more opportunity for different types of characters, right? If you look, like, going back to the 10th anniversary, the 10th anniversary's theme, if you think about it, was fusions, but also just like encapsulating as much of the different moments of Dragon Ball as possible, although it didn't do the best job about it. You had 2 fusions with Gogeta and Vegito, you had Cell Saga with Gohan, Tournament of Power with Go Frieza, you had Tournament of Power again with Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta, you had GD with Goku. So they were trying to focus on a bunch of different characters who realistically, it is kind of hard in a more specific kind of niche to like tie them all together. If GDC is going to have 6 LRs, that means there is more opportunity for a broader theme. That means we could include Future Saga, could include Daima, maybe could include what I'm hoping for, which is Namek. You could throw in maybe Saiyan Saga, you could throw in maybe Cell Saga or Majin Buu Saga. There's a lot of different room for other things to be included if you have more new characters coming into the fold. So for me, I prefer 6 LRs. I think the format they did for the 10th anniversary is fine. I understand some people don't like it, but you know, I think Dokkan can achieve doing 6 LRs who are all pretty good quality, who are all pretty good in terms of performance and that sort of thing. So that's my kind of hope, my expectation, you know, what I'm kind of saying right there. Now, beyond that, when it comes to the Future Saga, right, you know, the thing about the Future Saga is with the EZAs that we still have to be left with, Future Saga opens a lot of doors that were otherwise closed. You know, a big concern for a lot of people, myself included, was if we had either full Daima or, you know, Namek into Resurrection of F, what were the EZAs going to be? Now, EZAs don't necessarily mean the theme is going to be set in stone based off what EZAs we're missing, right? However, EZAs are a good way to tell, hey, what sorts of opportunities could we see for a theme because they could work in the EZAs. Now, from this whole kind of list, right, of what we still have left here, the Future Saga has a bunch of opportunity. You're talking about Future Trunks right here from the Cell Saga, Tech Androids, Future Gohan and Trunks right here with the LR. Also, you're talking about, for example, Vegeta and Trunks right here, Merge Zamasu, especially these two right here. They were part of the Tanabata celebration. You know, these two are Dokkan Fest LR. A lot of people are anticipating their EZA, Merge Zamasu's EZA. You know, characters of these caliber, LRs and everything, having them have potential EZAs for the Global Dokkan campaign, that is huge. And obviously if Future Saga is a part of the whole Global Dokkan campaign, that opens the door to include these EZAs. Now, people have different concept ideas and stuff of the different stuff. Regardless, it is a fact of the matter that Future Saga can see an insane and overdue glow up if you know, it's a focal point of the campaign, of the celebration, and these characters get their easy A's. So, I mean, for my money's worth, I think Future Saga is a fantastic choice, given what easy A's we are still awaiting for. Maybe we'll see some other random easy A's like the Worldwide Celebration, LRs and stuff, but still, when it comes to Future Saga specifically, that is really awesome. Now, beyond that, if we talk about some of the other potential upgrades that we could see for the Global Dokkan campaign with, you know, Future Saga, we have to look at some of the super easy A's, because I think that's where a lot of hope is being thrown into this whole direction. So, when we look at some of the super easy A's, the colored characters, obviously these are characters who do have their super easy A's, the others do not. But when you look at Future Saga related characters, this is also, by the way, out of date because we do have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. But anyways, Future Saga, right? That includes the free-to-play LR androids, which if I remember correctly, these were the first free-to-play friend summon LR. So, you know, they could be pretty awesome right there in terms of an easy A, or a super easy A, I should say. Also, you got Vegito Blue. You got Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, who are both really iconic characters, so that could really work. You could go ahead and throw like Int Sword of Hope Trunks, you know, Tech Corrupted Zamasu right there, the original one right there. Also, I mean, Int Super Saiyan Blue Evolve Vegeta. There are options when it comes to Future Saga. Actually, now that I think about it, Future Saga got a fair amount of love back in the day, which does make sense because this was when Dragon Ball Super was airing with the arc and everything, so they were kind of cashing in on the hype. But also, I mean, hey, like Tech Goku Black and Zamasu, I don't think they'll get their Super Easy A, but they could be an option as well. I mean, you know, this, even seeing these options right now, Vegito Blue down here, Rose, this is getting me excited. This is giving me hope of thinking, hey, maybe we could see some really awesome combinations of Future Saga, you know, with all this being like put together. So we'll have to kind of wait and see what's going to happen here, of course. But if the Global Dokkan campaign, again, is going to be an anniversary level, anniversary scale celebration, given what we had with the 10th anniversary, at the very least, it should be similar to that. So that means we should be getting a bunch of super easy A's, we should be getting a bunch of easy A's, and we should be getting pretty cool characters. Now, pretty cool characters can exist with Future Saga because we got the fusions and everything, but super easy A's and easy A's, again, we just saw it. There's a lot of opportunities. Ignoring Cell Saga and stuff like that, we still have Vegito Blue, Rose, Sword of Hope Trunks, Zamasu right here for super easy A's specifically, right? Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta right there, Goku Black and Zamasu right there. So there are options in that respect. And then with the easy A's in general, you're talking about Vegeta and Trunks, and then Zamasu. If you're ignoring the Cell Saga stuff, that's fine. But we still got these two characters right here. So there is a lot of opportunity. And don't forget, we may still see Daima. We may see something else. So there are other things that could be thrown in the mix too. So there is a lot of opportunities in that sense. Now, the thing I want to really fixate on here is when it comes to the new characters for Future Saga, like who should we see? A lot of people have been saying Goku Black and Vegito Blue should be the two main areas, the two main characters for this whole Global Dokkan campaign if it comes to Future Saga and that focus. And I personally agree. Like, I would say that when it comes to the general, you know, fandom, Goku Black is a far more popular villain than Zamasu is, even though Zamasu is the combination of Goku Black and Zamasu, which is basically like two Zamasus into one. But like all those things considered, Goku Black is still considered to be much cooler. And for me personally, like a lot of people I've seen say like they feel the arc has gone downhill once Goku Black, you know, merges into like Zamasu. So like there's different takes on that, but you know, Goku Black could work really well. When we look at Goku Black right here, the oldest Goku Black that we have, or like the most recent one I should say, is from, you know, last year, 2024, with this Goku Black right here with this Rose, and he was not that good. Let's be for real. He was kind of mid, like overall, because, you know, he had a pretty good team overall with Super Bosses and stuff. He had some good opportunities, but you just didn't want to run him. You didn't want to run him on his own desired team. So I mean, Rose has been done dirty in that sense. Obviously, this is from the 5th anniversary, so he is really old. And then when we look, you know, when we look at Vegito, right? Like, this isn't every Vegito that we have in the game, because obviously the 10th anniversary was, like, the 10th anniversary of Vegito is not here. But the last Vegito that we did get, like, far as Vegito Blue is concerned, the last one that we did get, if I can find him, was this one right here from the 2023 Worldwide Celebration campaign. So Vegito Blue is kind of due, right? We're due for a Vegito Blue, and then we're also due for a Goku Black. So those two could work significantly well. Maybe we'll see Trunks and Zamasu. Me personally, I hope not. Now, that's the thing, is Trunks and Zamasu have major factors to play in the arc. They obviously have cool moments. I hope we don't go too far into Future Saga because of two reasons. One, I want to give other things the opportunity to show up in the campaign. I want Daima to be there, I want Namek to be there, I want other things to have a chance to show up. The other reason, and this is more of a general kind of benefit if this is the case, I hope Trunks and Zamasu don't show up because that means that there is more opportunity for Future Saga to stay relevant over time. If we look at Future Saga right now, there are a lot of cool moments and a lot of versions of the cool characters showing right here. You got Vegito Blue, you got Vegito Blue right here with the free to play, you got Corrupted Merge Zamasu, regular Merge Zamasu, Father Son Gallic Gun. I mean, we got Goku Black right here, another Goku Black right here with the dimensional warping and stuff. Vegito Blue right here again. You know, we got those sorts of things. You got Sword of Hope Trunks, which I skipped right here, but Sword of Hope Trunks right there as well from the Worldwide Celebration. You know, there's so many like reiterations or moments of these characters showing again and again. If we can just, you know, do a bit of Future Saga and not overwhelm it too much, I think that'll be the best course of action, because then eventually, obviously, you know, Future Saga characters, they'll get old. If we get new ones, they're gonna get old. Once they get old, then you throw in like Trunks, then you throw in Zamasu, all of a sudden it revives the Future Saga. Future Saga is such a cool category, but yet it's so mid. You would not want to run this category whatsoever, despite all the cool characters. Like, if you had a choice, you would probably run the free-to-play Saiyan Saga team over this overall, I feel like. Like, yes, you can make this team work, especially with dupes and everything. This could be a pretty powerful team altogether. But even then, I just don't know if I want to run this. Like, it's just not that great. That's the point I'm making. Like, maybe I'm underselling it. This is not a great category at this point in time. That's what it is. Until the Global Dokkan campaign comes and maybe changes things up, this is mid for sure. So it needs help. I think it's a great timing for it with the Global Dokkan campaign. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I hope it cashes in on that opportunity, but also I hope they don't go too crazy, because for one, I know so many people are not happy with a Future Saga focus, but I think all will be forgiven if Future Saga is good and Daima shows up, or Namek, or other combinations. Because for some reason, I feel like the people who are really negative about Future Saga being a Global Dokkan campaign idea, the ones who are really negative about it seem to be people who are of the opinion, generally speaking, that Daima is not going to show up whatsoever because Future Saga is the focus. Now, is that going to happen? We don't know. Maybe that's the case. Maybe Daima is not going to be a thing. But if anything is right in the world, Daima should, at least in some way, shape, or form, show up for the Global Dokkan campaign. I think at least one unit should be a part of it. But that's just me right there. You know, there's different opinions, but I mean, look at this. So many people are excited for Daima. If they don't cash in on Daima as well, that would be a serious mistake in my opinion. So that's why I'm saying, you know, Future Saga is all well and good, but balance it. Balance it will be really good. Some people have been saying, you know, actually, I want to go ahead to my notifications right here. Someone actually said right here, because I was like talking about the whole kind of theory of $6 and stuff. Someone said Future and Daima will be amazing. We don't need filler. Also, shout out to, you know, Kotropia there. I don't know how to say the name, but shout out to them, of course. But this is what I'm saying. Some people are fine with Future. Some people are fine with Future Saga. Some people are fine with Daima being together if they are together. If it's just one or the other, then some people have concerns. If it's together, then I think it could work fine. But again, for me, 6 LRs will help that. I think there's a lot of room for upgrades and stuff based off what's going on here. There's just so much like potential, and again, we still have to wait and see what the announcement vid is going to be happening. Again, for those who don't remember, let me go ahead and actually find the announcement vid right here. The announcement vid is going to be tomorrow, so we'll go ahead and make sure to check that out, of course. And then besides that, I mean, we still have 2 other vids, of course, right? So besides the announcement vid, if we can find it down here, we will have the special kind of Dokkan out, and then we'll have the actual campaign. So, you know, we're going to see a lot of cool stuff in the very near future. But I mean, man, I can't wait to see what's going to be happening here. I am holding out hope. I think everyone, if I could give like a PSA, a request, or like whatever, I hope this message reaches like a lot of people. I hope we can all be positive. I hope we can just enjoy what we have coming here, because we've never had this celebration before. We have no idea what to expect, but the ball's in Dokkan's court. We have to appreciate what we have. We have to enjoy this game, of course. We have to enjoy what they're going to be cooking, because I think they are going to be cooking. If they make mistakes, we are absolutely in the right to call out the mistakes, to call out the errors, like for example Tech Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, like Daima Vegeta. We are in the right to call out those failing mistakes right there. But at the same time, I'm going to be positive going into the campaign, and then I will let the campaign speak for itself. If it is a fumble, then I will allow the pain and, you know, suffering to kind of exude itself. But for now, I'm going to try to be positive about it, just see what they're going to do. I'm going to let them cook. I hope everyone else will do the same. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an exciting time for sure. That's what I can say for sure. It's going to be very exciting to see what exactly is going to be happening. Hopefully, we won't get any more of these typos, but I mean, some people are saying that this is going to be a sign of things to come. Hopefully not. Hopefully, it'll be peak, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Anyways, that's going to be where we wrap up the vid. Obviously, we saw what the community had to say. I try to share my thoughts, of course, but more importantly than anything, I feel like we got a good topic. We got a good talk on what are some of the possible opportunities that could come if the future Saga is a major part of the campaign. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next one.